Okay. Let us get started. Please welcome back to the Moxcee Talk stage Mr. Donald Keys.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming to my talk. To begin, building any long-term sustainable business relationships is a three-step process, or what I call the power of three: connect, engage, empower. In another talk we discussed, step 1, connect, and once you have successfully connected, we move on to step 2, engage. You need to do more than just connect with your target audience. You need to engage them. To engage your target audience, you need to get a conversation started. One where you are doing less talking and more listening. This conversation is not about you and your product or what your sales pitch is all about. This would be self-serving. When you make it about you, this becomes a push, not a pull. A pull is the key to ultimately empowering your client, which we will get to later. Every relationship is built on trust and empathy. And the basis of that trust goes beyond connecting. It starts with two people having a rational conversation about their choices. How it ends or continues depends on how you handle step 2, the engagement phase. Engagement requires two things to work in concert with each other to achieve that ultimate engagement with the client. First, is you need to engage people on a human level with honest and important content that is reflective of their situation. Second is to know a person's engagement preference. Even if your engagement preference is not compatible, you still have some sense of where you need to adapt. Let's look at where engaging content and engagement preferences fuses together to produce an engaged client. There's not a better example of engaging content than exists between a doctor and his patient. In this commercial relationship, the notion of a sale is completely absent, because of the seriousness of the conversation, the condition of the customer, and the critical knowledge of the supplier. Wouldn't you like to have that level of engagement? Knowing engagement preference, a customer service person, for example, would know what motivates me in making a buying decision and thus reducing friction. A professional that sees I am people-oriented. My decision-making will depend on how much I am engaged on that level. Or I am provided a professional that knows my engagement preference is not to be spared any detail when it comes to purchasing something. Or I am provided a professional that knows my engagement preference is just the facts, so I can make a quick decision and be on my way. And finally, I am provided with a professional that knows my engagement preference is one where the buying experience should be fun, almost entertaining. To engage, build trust with content. Doctors do this each day. Learn from it. Plus, have the versatility to adapt your approach to different engagement preferences. I will show you how to fuse both engaging content and engagement preferences to produce a highly engaged client that is ready to be empowered. But more on that in our next talk. Step 3, empower. Thank you all.